This is absolutely crazy, and I still don't know what to make of it. Now, do me a favor, leave a comment down below. I want to know what you guys have to say. Within the first couple of hours of this video uploaded, I'm going to try to respond to as many comments as possible. So do me a favor, let me know what you think, and I'll get back to you. But listen, the Yankees just had a really good series against the Mets. 1-2 of 3. We won the series. Bellinger hit a big grand slam. Bellinger's been scorching hot lately. And we're still talking about Juan Soto. Bob Klapisch of NJ.com is talking about Juan Soto. Michael Kay is still talking about Juan Soto. Let's take a look at Bob Klapisch's most recent article regarding Juan Soto. Not only was he held hitless, but the swag had vanished. Soto's bat seemed slow, and more surprisingly, he's put on a few pounds around the middle. Just as Soto turned his back on ESPN, he did the same thing to reporters who were waiting to speak to him in the postgame clubhouse. Soto got dressed and began walking towards the door. He told the Mets official he'd be back to answer questions, but after seeing family outside, Soto never returned. That's not the same stand-up guy who was always at his locker last season. Even after being skewered on Friday, Soto spoke of the obligation to take it like a man. 2 days later, he was running for the exit. These are troubling signs for the Mets hierarchy. I'm told they're concerned for Soto's lack of enthusiasm for his new team. The only time Soto seemed happy this weekend was while he interacted with Judge, manager Aaron Boone, and second baseman Jazz Chisholm during batting practice. Now, take that for what it is. Michael Kay also mentioned that Soto preferred the Yankees, but his family wanted the Mets. Now, here's my question. And I took Soto leaving pretty hard because he's a kid that I watched since he got called up in 2018. Watched him very closely, always wanted him to be a Yankee. And he was a Yankee for a year, but then he goes and he becomes a Met. Out of all teams, he becomes a Met. When are we going to let go of this and simply stop talking about this? Right? We just won the series and we're still talking about Juan Soto today. Bob Klapisch talking about Juan Soto today. Michael Kay talking about Juan Soto today. And I know Michael Kay loves Bob Klapisch. Here's my thing. Soto's a Met for the next 15 years. He's gone. He made his bed, he's got to lie in it. Whether this stuff is true or not, whether he's miserable being a Met, whether that's true or not, he's a Met for the next 15 years. Maybe the next 5 he opts out, Cohen doesn't void the opt-out and he becomes a free agent, maybe. But he's a Met for the next 15 years. Why do we continue to talk about this? Now, here's the thing. Juan Soto kind of brings this upon himself. In that interview with John Heyman, why are you saying that the Yankees were your number one choice? Why were you saying that? And then say, oh, we'll see what happens. If Juan Soto, if I'm Steve Cohen, I'm going to sit my biggest investment down and I'm going to say to him, shut your mouth for the rest of the year and play baseball. Stop talking to the media. Stop. Answer them just give them basic answers. Because this is all just blowing out of proportion and this is a big mess. It's a big mess. Not for the Yankees, for the Mets. But as Yankees fans, we saw one hell of a player last year. What the heck was that this past weekend? What, goes 1-4-11? He wasn't very good. Outfield was dreadful. He wasn't very good. So why are we talking about him? It's over. It's done. He broke our hearts. Sure, it's over. He's a Met for the next 15 years. Now, I will say this. We saw Alex Rodriguez back in 2004, 3 years after signing that record-breaking deal with the Rangers, traded him to the Yankees. We saw that. So could Juan Soto be traded during his contract? I mean, sure, anybody can. Anybody can. We've seen it before. Maybe we'll see it again. But at this point, and if any of this is true, Steve Cohen, as I said, has to sit his boy down and say, you signed on for 15 years. You're a Met for 15 years. You could have went there. You could have been a Yankee right now, but you signed here. Play baseball. Play well. It's just, what are we doing? You know, what are constantly bringing this up? I was kind of over it. A couple days ago, we talked to Juan Soto, of course, big series, right? His first time returning to the stadium. We needed to talk about that. Now, today, it's not really. Not really. The series is over. We watched them play 3 games at the stadium as a member of the Mets. Cody Bellinger had a friggin' grand slam yesterday, and no one's talking about that right now. But we're talking about Juan Soto and how badly he wants to apparently be a Yankee. He's a Met for the next 15 years. Whether that's true or not, it's irrelevant. He's a Met for the next 15 years, unless he were to get traded or he opts out after year 5, and Steve Cohen does not void that opt-out. If 2 of those things don't happen, if Cohen does not void that opt-out, or if he gets traded, if both of those things don't happen, he is a Met for the next 15 years. And us Yankee fans have to realize that and understand that. And I think you guys do. You guys are incredibly smart who watch my content. You guys are incredibly smart. You understand this. There are some people who don't understand this and who keep bringing it up. I really like Bob Clappish, but this was like a hit piece on Juan Soto. The very beginning of the article was a little silly. Talking about his belly being above his belt buckle or whatever. What are you doing? How old are we? Come on. The kid's 26 years old. He's a kid. Let's relax. Let's calm down and relax. He chose the Mets over the Yankees. That never happens. Never happens. But it happened with him. So he's a Met now. Big deal. If he regrets the Yankees, that not signing with the Yankees, that's on him. Whether it's true or not, we'll never know. Unless Juan Soto just decides to friggin' tell us because he seems like that he's telling us everything. We'll never know. Well, what we do know is this. We were his number 1. It came out of the horse's mouth himself. We were Juan Soto's number 1. But in the end, the Yankees and the Mets could not get a deal done. The Yankees and Juan Soto, rather, could not get a deal done. He signed with the Mets. It is what it is. It's done. It's finished. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I know I'm saying, oh, it's done. It's finished. And I made this video. It's kind of funny, right? But I had to talk about this. I had to. I just think it's getting a little silly at this point. Unless Juan Soto comes out tomorrow and says, I want to be traded, he's going to be a Met for the next 15 years, okay? At least for the next 5. So just let the Mets enjoy their new toy. He has an 822 OPS, a 246 batting average. That's not Juan Soto numbers. It's kind of weird to me. Something's up. Something's up with him. And for Mets fans' sake, I hope they fix it. Because us as Yankee fans, that would drive us freaking crazy. Would drive us absolutely crazy. But I want to know what you guys have to say down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. This is Joey, and until next time, signing out.